In this video, I will be doing the jump scare using a green screen render. This isn't a great quality green screen, but here is the overview. We get jump scared by Chica. It is a pretty choppy render. Anyway, to start, make a folder and import your video jump scares. I have both Bonnie and Chica that I found online. Then we right click and we find the media player. Make sure to tick it so it automatically creates the texture so we can use the video as a material. Now open it. Down here, we have a list of videos, click on them to play it and see if it works. Now in your content browser, right click and create a material. I want this to be a generic green screen converter material. Open up the material. One thing, we can't search for our video texture. We have to drag the video texture from the browser to the material. Next, Unreal Engine comes with built-in tools. Search for MF_chroma keyer. Connect the emissive color to emissive. Now we also need to control the alpha. To unlock the opacity input, go to your material blend mode and change from opaque to translucent. Connect the opacity to the opacity input. I did say I want this to be a generic green screen material, so I also right-click the texture sample and make it into a parameter. I call it green screen so I can change the textures in the material instances. I apply and save. The texture is messy and broken right now. We need to create a material instance to change the values to fix it. Go to your browser, right-click the material and create instance. Name it a jump scare green screen and open it. We have all this green screen options to control. We have to fix the holes and select the right green screen color. Click on the first color option. Also click the green screen texture option at the bottom. Now go back to the top and click on the color. Use the eyedropper tool to select the green from the bottom texture to select the right green color. The background should be gone now. Now to fix the holes, enable the despill option. It may make a slight difference, but another option is the Luma mask value. I found value around 0.2 works. Save it and then go to your content browser. In your blueprints folder, we want to create the jump scare screen using a blueprint actor. I called it the jump scare plane. Open it and in the add component, add a plane mesh. Here are the transform, rotation and scale I used to make it. 90 on X and Y. I scaled it up to 2, but it should be bigger. I select the jump scare material instance that we created. Check if it looks good. Also for debug purposes, add an arrow to show the direction the plane should face. Drag it out of the plane and put it under the scene root. We don't want the arrow to rotate with the plane. Now set the rotation back to 0. The arrow should be facing away from the jump scare. The arrow is the player's view direction. Now in the event graph, just keep the event begin play. And add a variable. This should be called jump scare or media player. Change this from a Boolean type to a media player type. Compile and drag it out. Search for open source. This opens up the right video. We want to drag from the media source and promote to variable so we can change it. We want it to change for each animatronic. Now we can compile and save again. For your jump scare media source, we want to make it instance editable and expose it on spawn. Also for the media player, we want to select it to the media player we created for the jump scare. Compile and save again. Now open up the master animatronic class. I did some code in the last video. We will be adding to that. First, a custom event. This will be called spawn green screen. Next, we want to add the spawn actor from class. Select your jump scare plane actor. Change it to always spawn and ignore collisions. You can also go back to your actor and disable its collision as it's not needed. Now, drag from the transform and get make transform. I get the player pawn. From there get actor location, also get actor forward vector. Multiply that forward vector by a float. I use 200. I add the get actor location with the distance. I connect it to the location. This is the distance away from the player for the screen to spawn. I also get actor rotation so it faces our direction. Next, we have our jump scare source variable as the input. For now I use a select. I use the data table code to get the name. If you don't have a data table, you can just create a name variable in this class. Get your data table and from there, get break table. Now search for get data table and connect the row name to. From here, we can add a break animatronic data structure. We have all the information. For now, I will be using a name-based system to select between the green screens. Connect the get data table row to the event and before the spawn actor. From the name get the equals name. We can write in Chica and connect it to the select. Now just select on true, use Chica, and on false use Bonnie's Jumpscare. That's the event done for now. Go to the end of the Jumpscare code we did last time. After the set world rotation, call the spawn event that you created. Now I also change the math to the camera instead of pawn. Go back to the vector maths and add an input to the event. Call it camera and change type to camera component. Now compile and save. You can go back to the event, and last time I casted to pawn and got camera reference, I can just plug that into this input. We have to update the maths, drag from the input and search for get world location. Do the same for get forward vector and make sure it is all connected. Delete the old nodes and also get world rotation from the camera. Now you can test the game. If it works, move to the next section, playing the Jumpscare audio. To play the media audio, go to your Jumpscare plane actor. Add a component called media sound. If you don't have audio within the footage and its custom sound, just add a play sound at location node after open source. Once you added a media sound component, you can just set it your media player. As usual, you can change your audio settings to have spatialization and other changes. Now it should play your audio from the video file. Test the game and see if it works. Bonnie here doesn't look so good. Anyway, now for final touches. Next episode 1 will deal with main menus and going back to it after death. For now let's remove the name system and add jump scares to the data table. Go to your animatronic data structure and open it. Add a new variable and call it Jumpscare render. Set it to the type media source. Save it. Now go to your data table. Go through your animatronics and if you scroll down, you can select the jump scares they use. Now back in the animatronic class, I just connect the new data we created to the input of the spawn actor. I delete the name equals and select as that is now unnecessary. Test the game again to see if it all works. I hope you enjoyed this video and consider subscribing and sharing. See you next time.